I was wrong in doing what I did.
No, no! No! Are you listening?
Sean here, and we're going to do a little hypothetical based on what we know about Lorne. Now, I'm not going to take into account the Emma and Dan visit, because I don't think that counts. That was Lorne at a different time in his life. That was Lorne when everything was new, when he was getting attention. He thought his best relationship was screaming and yelling and abusing. Well, and also getting abused. Not that much, but he was mainly the abuser. But that was during a time when everything was new, and he thought people cared about him. For the first time in my fucking life, thought somebody cared about me. We are not talking about that. If you went and visited him, like the two douchebags who apparently went and visited him, just trying to get a little bit of fame, trying to get their 2 seconds of fame in a relatively small community on YouTube. We met a celebrity. Now imagine later on in life, you talk about taking a long trip to go visit a felon, a pedophile, a guy who tried to traffic a child over state lines. That was your big thing. I question your sanity and your sympathy towards a pedo. I just don't understand it. But the Lorne back then, I still think it would have been a nightmare. The Lorne now would be even worse. He can't sit around the outside drinking. What is he going to do? I would imagine you show up. You have to check into your own hotel. Lorne would kind of offer, hey, you can stay in my trailer, but silently pray, please don't come over here and stay with me. Please go stay in a hotel. You're an inconvenience. I like the idea of you coming out, but I don't actually like the fact that you're here. I can see that line of thinking easily. But we're talking about what if I came out? Now, I'm a guy. Say, if you're a guy and your mom made pancakes in the morning, would that squirrel still come to your window? What? Hold on, 56K modem disconnecting. What would you have to talk about? What do you know about Lorne, other than the fact that he got busted on NBC, perverted justice, and that he's a convicted pedo? There's not even an allegedly or reportedly in that statement anywhere. He's definitely a pedo. So you get a hotel, because you've seen his trailer, you know it's disgusting. And if you're a woman, there's no way you would go anyway. We're going to talk about that in a minute. If you're a guy, if you show up, he's not going to want you to stay in his trailer. He may offer it, but nobody in their right mind's going to do it. Unless he takes offense and he just keeps going until you say, okay, fine, I'll stay in your trailer. Lorne's a power freak, a power tripper. He got you to say yes. He got what he wanted. Then he'll lay off. But I have a feeling he would say, well, you probably going to have to sleep on the couch. And you'd get there, and you'd sit on the couch, and you'd be like, oh, do you have a dog? Because I'm pretty sure we're at the point now where Lorne's alcoholism has wrecked his body beyond repair, and he's shedding. But you would be sitting and sleeping on a couch that this sweaty, disgusting, hairy, drunken pedo had his weird shaped ass on. Your head would be where that happened. So no, there's no way in hell you're going to stay at that trailer. Oh, you know what, Lorne, I got a bad back, man. I think it's better if I stay in a hotel. Okay, well, you know why I offered. I would spend the least amount of time as I could in that trailer. I'm sure it smells rancid. The water damage alone would be out of control. It would just kill you. And the black mold, we know he's not taking care of it. I would be afraid that the floor would collapse. I really would. I told you about a guy who used to have a lot of money. In his trailer, there are holes in the floor, literal holes in the floor. So I have no doubt that Lorne, who has no money, there are holes in the floor. I mean, I still think his bathroom is a hole in the floor in the bathroom, and he just goes. Ugh. He's so gross. So moving on. You say yes, then you change your mind because he's like, oh, you might have to sleep on the couch now, or if you can have my bed. Are you freaking kidding me? The bed you sat naked in, eating watermelon. Gross! You probably would still find seeds in that bed. I mean, think about it. That's the bed where years of his life have been taken off when he's able to masturbate once a year. You know there wouldn't be food. And in typical Lorne fashion, instead of him having what you want there, you would have to go get what you want. If you want drinks, you won't have to bring them. I ain't got much here. I would never go visit someone ever. I would never put somebody out. If Lorne was a decent guy and he was sanitary, I guess, he was house trained, you would invite him to your house. Because that way he's eating your food, he's drinking. If he spends the night, he could be sleeping in a nice place instead of in that trailer. If he was normal and you were his friend, you would do something good for him. Never give an addict money. Lorne would just blow that money on cigarettes. Well, I got $50. I might as well go ahead and get my cigarettes now. So you are 100% not going to have any kind of food or drink there. He'll probably want to take you to mom's. He'll take you over and meet mom. Lorne, your mom's on her deathbed. Like Bobby Fischer. Can't remember the doctor's name, but he invited Bobby. He said, can I come stay with you? And the doctor said, Bobby, my however old mom she's on oxygen, living in the room. She's really, really sick. She's dying. And Bobby Fischer said, oh, that's okay. I don't mind. That's the way Lorne thinks. Oh, that's okay. My mom will be fine. We'll just go in, hang out a little bit. I'll say hi to mom. Even on her deathbed. Go away, you disappointment. What are you going to do? Are you going to go out to dinner? I don't think so. Because you would end up having to pay. Oh, I forgot my wallet. Lorne, we just went to Walmart. We just went to Walgreens. We just went here. And you forgot your wallet each time, buddy. The trip might be a calculated plan to have you restock his refrigerator, him hoping that there's food left over when you leave, because as we said, he's the guy who takes all the leftovers home from Thanksgiving. I can't imagine the stories you'd hear. He has nothing to talk about. The only thing he can talk about is his mom, because he has to know and he wants to know what his mom's health is. Can he take advantage of her? Is she going to be healthy enough to still give him money? When she dies, where's her Social Security or whatever's going to go? Does she have any kind of retirement? Where is that money going to go? And where is her house going to go? I still love when anybody brings his mom up, how this white knight comes to her defense. This woman who looks at him as a great disappointment, a failure, her failure to raise that kid, because every parent would feel that. I don't mean to get dark, but the parents of school shooters, I imagine what they're going through. A lot of them, they're dead and they lose their child. And they also live with the guilt that their child's legacy is going to be what they did. Now let's fast forward to Lorne's mom. I'm not saying it's not even close to the same thing. But I am saying she has to know her child's legacy is going to be that. And Lorne knows that's his legacy. And I don't know if he's okay with it. You may spend the entire time listening to him gaslight NBC and perverted justice and hear about the $100 and hear about this and that. Everything about that sting and how it was illegal. You'll probably hear the whole rundown. But after that, there's nothing to talk about. And I wondered, if you played weak, if you played like you were vulnerable, if Lorne wouldn't try to take advantage of you in some way, or if he wouldn't try to abuse you because he finally has a captive audience. I don't know how long he can tolerate you being there. You're preventing him from doing what he wants to do. Once he's done playing the victim and you stop talking about it, will he go back to that? Will he continue? Well, I can't go down there, because NBC. Lorne, you have to go to work. Well, I can't get a job because NBC. Is that all you would talk about? because there's nothing else. You're not going anywhere. He has no money. He has no hobbies. You're a man. You couldn't talk about sexual exploits because there's no way you could listen to this moron ramble on about all of these conquests he supposedly had without laughing at some of them. He wouldn't want to hear about you. He might pretend in the beginning, you know how he gets all giddy, well, God, you got to come out. And thank God Casey didn't fall for it, where he's so giddy and so happy. And finally, he might ask you, yeah, I can hear it. You got any good-looking friends? Yeah, sure, Lorne. I do. I want to hook him up with a convicted felon. Yeah, that's what I want to do. And then when they ask me what you were arrested for and what you went to prison for, oh, he was grooming what he thought was a 13-year-old child. Here, let me read you the chat. See if you still want to go visit him. Let me play you these latest calls where he's getting busted and he's admitting thinking about a 9-year-old singing the national anthem. Because I was worried about these other pedos thinking about her like that. When I see a 9-year-old girl singing the national anthem, it's usually like, oh, that's cute. I bet she's going to remember that for the rest of her life. But Lorne immediately went to, I'm worried about all these other pedos, and he remembered what she was wearing. Gross. I don't do bored. And unless you're a family member and I have something else planned, I'm not coming to stay. There better be a reason I'm coming out there. Imagine you're those two people. What are you going to do? Meet Roy? You're finally going to meet Roy. You're going to meet all the names that have been involved in this saga. What would be the point? Now, let's switch that up. And let's say you're a female. Say you're an attractive female. And I'm going to put her on the spot again. Let's say you're vexed. I have to. I'm so sorry. I have to. No. Let's torment Babsby. Let's say you're the great Babsby. We know for damn sure you're not bringing your kids, all right? But Babsby goes out there. Now, Lorne, this time, you're staying in his trailer. Oh, my God. You don't come stay with me. You come stay with me. Lorne, no thanks, man. I'm going to stay in a hotel room. Well, you're going to be spending a lot of money, probably thinking that money needs to spend on my groceries. Babsy's going to be arguing, no, I want to stay in a hotel. Now, he's not going to let this go. He's going to actually try to clean up that dump. Not a lot, just enough to where it's passable. Just enough to where if a landlord's coming through for a quick look around, just enough. He might do the dishes finally, maybe. I don't know. I don't think he can vacuum. I don't think he has a vacuum, unless it's one of those old push vacuums. But his bedroom, he's going to make sure that looks great, because eventually he thinks that's where Babsky's it's going to end up. And we know no one from this community or anyone that knows anything about this guy is going to show up. Well, let's say she was curious and she decided to. Lorne's going to be giddy. He's going to be on his best behavior. He's still going to talk about NBC. He's going to ease into that conversation. Yeah, it's been tough ever since NBC entrapped me. They used all their tools. I don't know. You know what? It's Lorne. Yeah, they even implanted a child porn picture on my computer. Well, that just got this video. If I was monetized, that would get this video demonetized. And I've thought about, if I do get monetized, what kind of charity? See, I was adopted. And I think every child deserves a happy home. Man and a woman, 2 men, 2 women, who cares? They just need, not that that'd be an issue. I'm just saying to you that every child deserves to be happy. And I have no problem whatsoever. As long as the parents are loving and they care about that child, I don't care what they look like. I don't care how rich they are. But the child deserves a loving home. Really. And I thought maybe that would be my charity. I don't know. I doubt I'll ever get monetized. I don't think I'm going to grow much more than my subscriber base, unless maybe I start streaming. It's just hard to pin down times. I may start streaming once a week, and we'll start from the beginning. I have thought about it. I'm not too good at like keeping up with the comments, and sometimes you guys know I ramble, just like I am right now. We were talking about Babsby visiting Lorne. So Babsby visits. She doesn't stay in the hotel. You know what's coming. Giddy, happy. Lorne would slaughter his own mother to have money to be able to take somebody out on the cheapest dinner possible. Thinking, well, I took you out to dinner. It's booty time, because we know that he thinks if you go out on a date, Debbie, that you're fucking guys down in Florida full of shit, bullshit. You're gonna be having sex. Because if you go on a date with Lorne, you're done. If you went out to dinner harmlessly with him, you're not escaping. He will never stop contacting you. I don't know if he'd even do I just want to let you know I had a really good time. You know, call me if you want to. 2 hours later, and it starts. And then when you finally answer, well, I was worried about you. That's why I was so upset. No, Lorne, you called me a crackhead whore and a slut and a cunt and every other thing you say. Well, I was worried about you. You're not escaping, and you should have never escapo. You should have never, ever gone and visited this man. This is going to affect Babsby's children when she gets back. Mom, why is this psycho calling? Well, guys, whoever she's talking to, group of people, I went and visited Lorne Armstrong. Curiosity finally got the better of me, and I did feel sorry for him for a little bit. Imagine her son finding out that she went and visited Lorne Armstrong and not some guy that she had madly fallen in love with. She was just embarrassed to tell him. Imagine the respect loss. That would be a story you never told to any of your friends, ever. And that's just a fact. That would be completely embarrassing and humiliating. Moving on. I think he would smoke outside for the first day. And then eventually, he'd come in and smoke by the door or by the window. And eventually, he'd just be smoking, because we know Lorne, he likes to push it. You'd be drinking weak coffee. He says it's because he likes the taste. We know it's to preserve it for as long as he can. The coffee would probably be expired. It would be gross. His sugar would be clumped together past his due date. Everything had due date, expiration date. Everything would be gross. Now Roy might catch wind that Lorne's got a woman at his trailer. And I bet here he comes. Lorne would want to parade Babsby over to his mom's house and say, look, Mom, look at this woman. She came all the way out here to see me. See, these catfish women, I knew I'd eventually land one. A real woman. Babsby would leave. Nothing would have happened. But the stories, oh boy, the stories. Lorne not knowing that Babsby was a member of this community. And him telling whatever catfish it is about the time he was wrecking Babsby in his bedroom all night. I'm dead. All night long. And eventually it would get to Babsby. And I'm sure, because Babsby's a real woman, she'd want to confront him and say, what the hell are you saying? I don't want people thinking I came out there. And this is, of course, all hypothetical. If she was just curious to finally meet this man and see if he really was a monster, you would be his greatest triumph. Paula who? Nikki who? Sherry who? All of these women who? I don't know if he'd admit to you in a moment of intimacy where he thinks that you guys are getting closeness. If he would tell you, hey look, I've never really had sex. If he would guilt you, if he thought it would be an end, I've never really had sex with a woman. I just really want to before I die. Can you please help me? Now we all know that Babsby is a real woman. And it's obvious that she's strong, and there's no way she would do it. But I had to use her name because I thought it was funny. There are a lot of things I think could happen depending on how the first meeting went. If there was a smile, that's all he needs. If there was a nice to meet you, that's all he needs. If he said, how was your trip? And you said, great, Maine is beautiful. That's all he needs. You are now his main focus, and he will call you, and it will never stop, because that's how he is. That's who Lorne is. No one should ever go visit him, but people do, and I think people have done it on the sly. I think people have done it without telling anyone. It's just human nature for some of these people to want to go and be around, like people with DSP. It's a weird cloud thing. Yeah, we went and met DSP. Yeah, we went and met Lorne. Dude, here's how he is in real life. Thinking they've now got the inside scoop. They're going to be popular. It would be a nightmare for anyone. That's my video for today. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, this